From all of the information about fasting on the internet, it might seem like this magic cure for everything, but you may be wondering what impact fasting really has on your health, especially your heart health. Can it reduce your blood pressure? Is it healthy for your heart? Is it dangerous in certain situations? Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the fasting literature and discussing in depth the positives and the negatives of water-only fasting to reduce high blood pressure. And I'm also going to get a little bit into intermittent fasting as well. If we're meeting for the first time, hi, my name is Dr. Tessa Spencer. I'm a licensed pharmacist as well as a NASM certified personal trainer and nutrition coach, as well as the creator of Beating High Blood Pressure. Now, Beating High Blood Pressure is my 12-month membership course and coaching program that really empowers people with high blood pressure to improve their condition utilizing nutrition and lifestyle habits instead of or on top of medication, so you can really reduce your risk for heart disease, lose weight, improve your overall quality of life, and your overall health. Now, research shows that fasting can help lower your blood pressure, reduce your cholesterol, control diabetes, and reduce your weight. So if we can reduce those 4 things by fasting, we can also reduce the risk of heart disease. Now, in a study that tested medically supervised water-only fasting for the treatment of high blood pressure, 174 patients were treated at an inpatient setting, meaning that they didn't leave the facility in which the study was being done. So for the first few days, the individuals participating in that study, they started out with just fruits and vegetables to kind of clear out their gut. That was followed by 11 or 10 days of water-only fasting before transitioning them back to a whole foods plant-based diet. All of the patients that came in for this study, they were all hypertensive, meaning that their blood pressures were over that 140/90. 89% finished the study with blood pressures under 140/90. The average reduction in systolic blood pressure, which is that top number, was 37 points, which is remarkable compared to other interventions, including medications. Those that came in with higher blood pressures that exceeded over 180 experienced a 60-point drop in their blood pressure. The researchers noted that this was arguably the largest effect ever published in the scientific literature when it comes to treating high blood pressure. Researchers concluded that the medically supervised water-only fast appears to be safe and effective means for normalizing blood pressure. Interestingly, when they resumed feeding the patients within that water fasting only study, their blood pressures continued to drop even further, suggesting that fasting could be used to kind of kickstart the normalization of blood pressure. Now, they were able to track down a few dozen patients after the study was completed, and on average, their blood pressures remained lower. We don't know what happened to the rest, so we can't say that this is, for sure what's going to happen with everyone in this study, but it shows that at least it can provide long-lasting benefits for some individuals. Now, a similar study followed people up to a year after that study was performed, and the blood pressure reduction seemed once again to hold along with weight loss. So presumably they stuck with that heart-healthy diet. So yes, fasting can be extraordinarily effective, but for how long? I mean, fasting is one of the least sustainable diets out there. Now, it should be mentioned that nobody should be fasting for more than a day or two unsupervised, so medically unsupervised, because there are serious health risks associated with water-only fasting. And while fasting is a little bit like a cleansing process, you're also purging your body from those essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients that we need in order to function properly. Now, even all of the patients who I mentioned in those water fasting only studies, they were still given multivitamins and mineral supplementation as necessary throughout their water only fasts. Because without supplementation of those vital minerals and vitamins, those undergoing prolonged fasts for therapeutic reasons or religious reasons, people have ended up paralyzed, comatose, or have also died. Fasting itself produces diuresis, which means that essentially we lose a lot of water and electrolytes through our urine throughout this process. And because of this, fasting can lead to large electrolyte imbalances within our body. So much so that it can make the heart unstable and prone to arrhythmias. Breaking your fast seems to be the most dangerous part, known as this idea of this refeeding syndrome, which multi-organ system failure can result from resuming a regular diet too quickly. See, there are these critical nutrients such as thiamine and phosphorus that are used to metabolize food. So within that critical refeeding window, or when you're breaking that fast, if too much food is taken in before these nutrients can be replenished, demand might exceed supply and cause all sorts of different kinds of health issues. I will say that medically supervised fasting has gotten much safer now that there are proper refeeding protocols. We know what warning signs to look for, and we also know who shouldn't be fasting in the first place. And those individuals who are not recommended to fast are those with advanced liver or kidney failure, uncontrolled hypertension, those who are pregnant, breastfeeding, children, teenagers, and those with type 1 diabetes, and those who have eating disorders. That's why fasting longer than 24 hours, and particularly 3 or more days, should be done under the supervision of a physician or in some sort of live-in clinic that deals or specializes in those water-only fasts. All of this to say, don't try this at home. There is an alternative method of fasting that is very popular in Europe, where instead of doing water-only fasts, people get around 300 calories a day from fruit juice and vegetable broth. But I still believe that this should be done under supervision. There was a study where people were randomized to 7 days of this method and then followed up for 4 months later. And after 4 months, their blood pressures ended up 15 points lower than the control group, or the group that didn't do that type of fasting method. And although the long-term follow-up of these subjects has been more sporadic, the available data suggests that there is a large reduction in blood pressure that can be conserved in patients who remain compliant with that follow-up diet. So once again, doing a fast and going back to the standard American diet where it's heavily processed foods, high in animal products, processed meats, things like that, that's not going to keep your blood pressure low. You need to stick with those follow-up diets of that heavily plant-based whole foods diet in order to keep your blood pressure low. The secret to long-term success in fasting may be helping kickstart a healthier diet by cleansing our palate, which has been so deadened by hyper sweet, hyper salty, hyper fatty foods. Which makes sense. After not eating for a week, the regular, normal, healthy, real food, it tastes better. The ripest peach in the world would taste bland after a bowl of Fruit Loops. But fasting may resensitize our taste buds such that we can enjoy something like corn on the cob without adding in butter and salt. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, things that taste better and reduce our health risk. But what about intermittent fasting, which means eating little to nothing on certain days of the week, or eating only during certain hours of the day? Intermittent fasting seems to work because the human body evolved to store food as fat to fuel us when food was scarce. So having longer time periods where we don't eat seems to help our bodies perform their best. And intermittent fasting seems to have a lot of health benefits. More and more research shows that it also improves our heart, our overall health by lowering cholesterol, our blood pressure, insulin, and blood sugar levels. I will say that most of the research in intermittent fasting, it seems to be more beneficial in men versus women, so take that into account as well. So if you want to give intermittent fasting a try, make sure that you pick an approach that you think will work for you and be sustainable for you. Some people fast every other day, others eat less, about 500 calories on 2 days of the week, which is called the 5-2 method. And one of the most popular ways is to eat every day, but only between certain hours of the day. It's called time-restricted eating. Fasting isn't for everyone. If you're on insulin, other diabetic drugs, blood pressure medications, you should really discuss it with your healthcare provider first before trying intermittent fasting. However, I want to stress that the amount of research on fasting in general is still in its preliminary stages. We still have a lot to learn about fasting and its potential short and long-term health benefits and health risks. Now, if you want to lower your blood pressure naturally, you can always come work with me inside my Beating High Blood Pressure coaching program. So I can support you, I can help personalize your approach to lowering your blood pressure. And so if you want more information on the step-by-step process to lowering blood pressure naturally that I teach in Beating High Blood Pressure, I do have a free hour-long masterclass where I dive deep into my strategies on how to avoid the 3 things that are keeping you from lowering your blood pressure naturally. So if you want to watch that free masterclass or you want to learn more about beating high blood pressure, you can do so by using the link below in my description and sign up to watch that free on-demand masterclass. And if you want more day-to-day tips, tricks, notifications on how to lower your blood pressure, make sure to follow me on Instagram at Beating High Blood Pressure. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell notification so you're notified each and every time I upload a video, which is twice a week, okay? So when you like this video or you subscribe to my channel, you allow my content to reach more people in the kind of YouTube universe. So I really just want to be a resource and help as many people as I can and educate as many people as I can so I can help people lower their blood pressure naturally. So that's why it's important that if you want to give me a like or subscribe to my channel, it really helps me out. Thank you again so much for the video. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know if you have any questions down below in the comment section. I'd love to be a resource for you guys. And as always, I hope you have a beautiful day, and always remember that together we can beat high blood pressure.